welcome or welcome back to the Marketing Nomad YouTube channel. I am the Marketing Nomad. Alrighty, so today we are going to be diving deep into my daily planner. I am so excited to get into this. I was supposed to record this last week, but I realized that there's actually a lot of sensitive information that's there in my daily planner. So what I decided to do was recreate it on this extra bullet journal that I did have. Actually, they were rough sheets like this. Hold on, I'm trying to show it to you. So they were rough sheets like this, and then I created it, oh wait, sorry. I created it to the same size as my bullet journal. All right, so hold on, let me show it to you. All right, so they're the same size as my bullet journal. This is a little bit of a different setup because I have my phone camera over here, so I'm trying to talk to you through that. And then I have my camera that is going to be showing you the table. So hopefully you'll be able to get a good shot of that, and I will also be able to speak to you through this entire process of how I set up my daily planner. There is so much that I do in my daily planner. Honestly, I don't think that I can function without this particular one. This one is the Miura Petite Journal .grid journal, and I have used it as my bullet journal as well as my daily planner. Now, if you notice the size of this planner compared to my weekly planner, I think I did a video on this previously, but compared to the size of it, yes, it is quite small, and there is a purpose to why I have made a daily planner that is smaller, much smaller than my weekly planner. The reason is if it's too big or if it's bigger, I would end up putting a lot of unnecessary things in that, and then it would completely shift my focus to what was not necessary. It was very confusing for me, and I decided, okay, you know what? Based on who I am as a person and how my mind works, I need to go with something that is petite, something that is small, just enough for me to fit my daily list of activities, and that's pretty much it. It helps me focus in on what is important for that particular day. So it is very intentional that I have chosen a smaller journal for my daily planner. All right, okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but this is something that I got new. This is a pen clip, I guess I would call it. I think I got a pack of 18 on Amazon. It was pretty cost effective, and they come in 2 different styles and I think 3 different colors. This one is the rose gold, and you can put it on the side. I kind of like it. I decided to put one for every single journal of mine, so that was like a fun activity for me. I don't know if you can see this. This one is the gold one, and this one's the one that comes on top. I even put it for one of my mom's journal as well. I was like, you need to have this. And she basically uses that journal to draw rangoli. So it's like a dot grid, and then she draws a rangoli in that. So I put the pencil that she has into that journal. So I was very excited. I went around putting it for every single journal of mine, including my, hold on, I'm trying to get it out for you, including my, the spiritual journal. All right, yeah, wait, hold on. The pen. Yeah, this one is my spiritual journal. And so I put the pen in the opposite direction because when I'm stacking it, I want the ink to flow down. That's just me, all right? So yeah, so I put it for all of them. I think there are 3 different colors. There's silver, and then there's rose gold, and then there's the actual gold. I don't really have any preference. I just put whatever I liked to all of them. All right, so that is the front of this journal. I'm still waiting on, I've purchased a few stickers. I'm still waiting on them to deliver so that I can fill out my planner. I kind of want to decorate it, just a personal preference for me. All right, so this is my daily planner. I cannot function without it. This is the most important thing to me. And it basically has both my personal life as well as my business. All of it go into this particular daily journal. Oh, sorry, planner. It's the thing is a journal, but this is my planner. All right, okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I am going to switch on my camera, and you are also going to be getting the camera view. Hold on. So you might actually see me looking ahead or looking up. Yeah, that's because my camera is over there. So I need to keep seeing if it is recording, whether there's anything blurring out. So if you keep seeing me looking up, yeah, that's probably the reason why. Okay. Alrighty. So let me set this up. It's already set up. I just have to hit the record button and let's go. Okay. So let me zoom in as well. I'll just lift this up. Okay. Yeah, I think that should be fine. All right, so I'm not gonna be showing you this because I have done the exact replica over here, and I have also done one that is plain and one that is filled, just so that you have an example of what I do and how I go about it. I might show maybe 1 or 2 pages, but there's just so much of sensitive information. I was like, you know what, it's going to be incredibly difficult for me to blur it all out. So I decided to just do one that was simple. It's the exact replica though, that much I will tell you. It's the exact replica, and this is how I use it for my business. So you can use it as a starting point to see what works for you. So, but this one is both my business and my personal life. Just wanted to say that as well. All right, so first off, it starts off usually with a design page. Oh, that's one of my, okay. So it starts off, I just show you in my, so this one is the December spread that I do have. It's a very simple one. And my book started out, this particular planner started out with December 2025. And this was just, you know, the season colors, so on and so forth. So usually my my planner spread starts out with one that's a little bit more design oriented for the month, okay? So it kind of captures what I am feeling or the vibe of that particular month, all right? So it usually starts off like this, okay? Now, then the next thing that I do is I set up the monthly plan, all right? It is a monthly calendar, and I usually write the numbers, and then I put some small section for just notes. I don't usually fill this though, the notes section of it, but I just keep it there in case there's something. Now, for me, given that it is small, I don't really feel too much in this. For me, I am tracking transits, planet transits. So I usually put the planet transits over here. I am also tracking the full moon and the new moon. So that goes over here. That's just a very personal preference for me because I am studying astrology at this point in time as well. And that's just a hobby for me. So I want to, like, I kind of have it on my calendar in my daily planner because sometimes the transits change maybe every 14 or 15 days. So I want to make sure that it is all there. So it's a very simple spread for me. For you, you can really use it for anything else. You can use it only for birthdays, only for appointments, for events, for meetings. You can also do your step tracking, whatever it is that you feel like. But I would say, given the amount of space, it only allows you to track maybe 1 or 2 things that you can keep up with. More than that, I think it will just get too chaotic, too messy. And for me, I want this page, especially this one, I want it to be something that I'm not scratching out, because all of my scratching out and planning of the entire month spread, that goes in my weekly planner, the one that I showed you last week. So this is just more of something that I'm tracking or something that I just want to, you know, some kind of FYI for me as well. All right. So this is how the spread would look like for me. If I'm tracking the full moon and then the new moon, then that is it. If you're tracking your steps, you can absolutely do so over here. If you are tracking someone's birthday, you can absolutely do that as well. So this is usually the first page to kick off my month in my daily planner. All right, so this is a very simple one. I'll just put this aside. All right, I'll put it over here. Okay. Then my next one is my task log. This is inspired by the Alistair method, though I have made few tweaks for myself. Now, what I do is basically I write the day and the dates of that particular week. Now, if you noticed, my task log for my weekly planner, it was usually 2 months or 8 weeks or 8 or 9 weeks up front. So whatever tasks I've put in my weekly planner, all of that, like for example, this is week 2 of January, right? 5th to 11th. And I would have marked certain things in that particular task log. And so I transfer that data onto this, and then I individually mark the dates. All right, I will probably get a clip from that video and then show it to you over here. I think I'll do that just so that you can compare. But if you want to check out that video, because it does relate, that is my weekly planner and this one is my daily planner. So if you want to check that out, I will put the link in the description box below as well. So what I do, very simple, just write the dates of that particular week and then write the day, and then let me show you how it's done. All right, so basically, whenever you want to schedule the task, you just mark it over there. For example, you have category 1, task 1, and you want to do it on Monday, but category 1, task 2, you want to do it on Wednesday. So you just basically mark it according to the dates that you want. Sometimes you will have a task that you want to do for twice in that week, write it all done. Now, the moment the task is done, what I do is I scratch off the whole thing. All right, this is a very, very important step for me. I think this is something that you will see as a pattern even when we go into my day planner, the daily part of it. I scratch things out. I need to get it scratched off, because when I go back to this list, the tick doesn't register in my mind, and I start to feel very overwhelmed that the task is still there. But for me, if I see it scratched out and completely, just out, I guess I would say, yeah, that just helps me feel like it's done. I'm not going to focus on that. Otherwise, my whole page, like for example, if you see this and people, maybe just put a tick beside. Some people it works, for me it does not. All right, I end up seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm like, okay, there's still so many tasks there on my page. But if it's canceled out, I'm like, I don't have to worry about that. My eyes just, I don't even bother too much about it. It's just done. And so for me, more from my mind and how it works, I need it scratched out. All right, so I wanted to take some time to explain this, because I know that it might look messy to some people, but for me, this gives a lot of relief. All right, then for example, the task is done. It is scratched out with a black pen. I don't know if you can make out the color over here, but it is scratched out with a blue pen. That is when the task is postponed. Now, if the task is canceled, for example, I don't want to do that task anymore, it's irrelevant, or it's just out of my system and I didn't do it, but it's not important, or I don't have to, I cancel it out with a red. Either way, I will not look at these anymore. And when I cancel this, like for example, the task is postponed, I will usually put like a sticky note. I'll show you over here. I'll usually put like a sticky tab over here if I have not postponed it to a particular date. If I've put it to a particular date, like it has been transferred onto that particular day's or that particular week's task log, then I will just put the date over here. But either way, that is something that I do not have to focus on. That is something that I will not look back at all. Right? Another thing that I do, so that is task cancel with the red line, and then task done. But if you did it on a different day, like for example, this particular task, let's say task X, okay, I marked it on Tuesday, but I ended up doing it on Friday. So I don't mark from Tuesday, I just mark it from the day that I do it. All right, that's one way that I do it. Then for me, the same category tasks are usually together. So I'll put like category 1 tasks over here, then category 2, then sometimes I'll even start from the bottom as well, just to give enough breathing space to fill out for different categories. But that's just me, I just like it clubbed together. Just gives me a little bit of that visual relief. All right, so this is my task log. This helps me kind of schedule out the tasks, and it has been like transferred from my weekly planner onto this. All right, so this is the second page. Then we come to the brain dump. So these two go hand in hand together. It kind of opens out like this. Maybe I should actually put this like this. Yeah, I think you'll be able to see better how it unfolds. Or so these two pages usually go hand in hand. Like I make sure if there is like the January 2026 will usually come like this. It will come like this, Jan 2026, and then this will become the 2-page spread. I keep it intentionally a 2-page because over here I have my brain dump and over here I have my organized brain dump. So urgent, must do, good to do. These are all pending tasks, maybe from the previous week, or just I need to focus on it for this week. So whatever I dump over here, it goes onto here. I schedule it out over here. So if it's urgent, I know that I have to finish it within the first 3 days of the week. And then this is just brain dump for me to fit whatever it is that I want to do. Must do, I must somehow finish it or somehow schedule it during the week. But I need to make sure that there are no other tasks, which is why I actually really like the task log, because I can see over here, okay, Thursday, I don't really have anything planned except for one more thing in category 3. So it doesn't look too filled, so I can put another task over here, so on and so forth. So I really like this method. And for me, it's helped me a lot. So this is where, you have your pending tasks. This is the organized brain dump, and then the disorganized brain dump over here. This is a concept that I talked about in the weekly planner as well, though it's a little bit of a different disorganized brain dump over there. This one's different as well. All right. So I highly recommend checking out that video. It is there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. So this is what it looks like. This is how the spread usually is. Whatever is over here, brain dumped and urgent, must do, good to do, I put it over here and I schedule it out. Okay. So this is just how a normal brain dump and disorganized and organized brain dump page would look like, and then I can doodle over here. This one's usually very messy, like my brain dump. It's not like I don't usually write it in one line. Sometimes I'm like writing it this way, sometimes I'm writing it this way. So it's brain dump basically, there's no structure to it. However, this one, as you can see, there is like proper structure to it, and I write down, this is just everything that is urgent, put it there. It's still brain dump because I've not really scheduled this out, but it's organized. All right. So that is what the spread usually looks like. It kind of looks like this. Usually it will look like this, all right? Okay, then we start with the day and date. These are the individual days that I do. I do it every single week. And like, for example, like you saw over here, right? It's the week. So I will have like a day and date for that particular week, and then I will have like 7 of these, right? So this one follows my activity segmented weekly planner, but it goes according to the day as well. Again, I talk a lot about my activity segmented weekly planner, the ASW. This was a framework, a planner style that was created by me. It is also there in my book, 0 to 4 Figures, Lessons Learned by a Broke CEO. So if you like more details about that, definitely do check out the weekly planner. So basically, just to kind of refresh, and for those of you who are watching this video as a standalone and you've not really watched that just yet, the activity segmented weekly planner is basically, as it says, it's segmenting your day or your week per the activity. All right, so I would not recommend more than 6 activities, like breaking down the things that you do in a day. I would not recommend more than 6 categories, for the activities. And for me, I have 6 categories over here. I started out with 5 and then I went to 6, but now I'm at 6, and the categories can change every now and then. That's completely fine, but it's important to look at the activities, all the activities that you have in a given week, and segregate it according to different categories. 5 to 6 categories, all right? So this is how my spread usually looks, the day and the date, and then category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you notice, the box widths are intentionally different because some categories, they only have few activities. Some categories, they have a lot more activities in that particular day. So I accordingly adjust to it. That's completely fine. They don't really have to be the same width. That's one thing that I want to say as well. All right. So this is how the planner looks. I feel like it might actually get too much of, let me put this aside for now. All right. Just that it might get a little bit overwhelming because I want to focus on this, and even for me to speak, I'll keep looking at that. All right. So categories for me, for example, all right, health. That's the first one because it's really important to me, and I usually finish it within the first hour or first 2 hours of me waking up. So that is health, not 10K steps, but maybe 45 minutes of exercise, or arms, legs, whatever it is. That usually goes up over here, but this just 10K is just for you. It's just an example, all right? Then we have health as my first category. We have repeat. So these are tasks that I will do on repeat, whether it is on on repeat every other day or 5 times a week, whatever it is, these are repeat tasks. So that forms a category for me. For me, business journal, spiritual journal, that is the whatever it is. Like I do my business journal every Sunday, and I do my spiritual journal at least 2 or 3 times a week. So that goes in here. It's a repeat task that I do every single week. And then update Excel sheet. Like for example, the clients that have come in for that particular week, there's an Excel sheet that I track, my client log. I also track, like obviously just as any business does, the revenue, so on and so forth. So update the Excel sheet. That could be one repeat task. So these are tasks that I will repeat probably every single week or a couple of times in a week. So those go over here. So that's a category for me. Then the next is I'm primarily a content creator. So whatever content I need to create for that particular day, it goes over here. If there are back-end tasks that I need to do in order to create that content, that also goes over here. Like for example, I needed to create these sheets, right? Whatever it is that I'm showing you at this point in time. And so that would have gone over here for me to write and to say, okay, well, this is part of the content that we're creating for this week. This needs to get done. Then I have other, where it could be, you know, sending review forms, replying to a particular client who's reached out, brainstorming for a particular problem, or finding a solution. Whatever it is, it's other for me, all right? Anything other than the top 3 categories, that comes under other. Then we have important. This is something that I either need to keep in mind or I need to do it today. Like for example, content ideas for Feb, I just need to keep thinking about it. It's important. And I probably have I have a notes section in my iPhone where I just keep writing all of these ideas out as well. So I just need to keep thinking about it. It's important because that sets me up for February. So I just write content ideas. And then if I have 2 videos that I have recorded, but I haven't scheduled it and I need to schedule it soon, then that's important. So just schedule out those 2 videos. It's kind of like just keep it at the top of your mind. Whenever you have those few seconds, just do them, or whenever you're free, just think about them, or they're important, maybe do them first. That could also be it. All right, then future. This is usually, you know, what's next week, anything that I want to scribble notes for the future, or anything that I want to keep in mind that I need to schedule this out for a particular day, so on and so forth. All of that goes into my future. Now there's a reason why I put important at the bottom, because every time I open my book, I just look straight at the important. That's usually what I get to first in the day. And then I go with the others as well. For me, it's just a routine that I've set up for myself. So that, because health for me, like whatever is on top, the first category, is usually what I do right off the bat. Like the moment I wake up, this is what I focus on. But important will probably be whatever is important for me to do when I get started with my business part of my day. So that's just a segregation for me. I put it down because I know it's just where the section is. That's what I need to at least get done within the first hour of my business day. And I don't know, for me, it just works well if it is at the bottom. I just know that that's a section that I need to keep an eye out for. All right. So, oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to tell you is, if you notice, I put the X over here. Again, for my brain, it just works. If I, like, X for me marks the slot. You're marking it to be done. All right. Some people put like a box, or you can do it however you want. For me, X just works. All right. So X is me marking this to be done, and then scratching it out is when it is done. All right. So this is what a typical daily planner looks like. Like I said, it is not neat at all. It is very messy, especially when you scratch it out. However, I know that if it's scratched out, I don't have to think about it. It is not going to be taking brain space, versus if I see all of these and I see the X, like for example, if I were someone who took the X as the task being done, I feel like it's still there at the back of my mind because I can see it, I can read it. So for me, it just wasn't working for me. In fact, I would see a whole page, even if it was neatly written, I would see all of these X's, but I would still see those words written and they would overwhelm me, and it would make me feel like there was so many tasks that was still pending. So for me, what I realized for my brain, this is what I need to scratch it out so that it is just deleted from my brain forever. I don't ever have to look at it in my life again, because either I would have transferred it onto another page, or it's just done and I don't have to think about it anymore. All right, so for me, it just helps with my brain space. It just aligns very well with me. For me, putting a tick on the side when I can read those words, no, it just wasn't working for me. Okay, so this is what my page usually looks like. Let's go over it step by step because there's a lot of information that comes through over here. So of course, if it is done, I mark it with a black line, as you can see over here. If I have postponed the task, then I mark it with a blue line. It's still canceled out, but I have scheduled it out. So again, I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to read it anymore because it's already there on 7/1/26. All right, I would have fixed it over there. Now, for example, I have postponed a task. I want to postpone a task, but I don't really, I've not really scheduled any day for it. Then I mark the blue line and then I put a post-it right beside it that the date is not sorted out, but you need to schedule that. And so the post-it, the sticky tab will constantly, like if you have all the remaining pages, it will stick out for me. So I know that there's something in this page that I need to transfer to another page and I haven't done that just yet. And the moment I do that, like for example, I figure out, okay, let's do this on the 8th. Then I just write it over here in the blue color pen and then I remove the sticky tab and then this page is done, all right? Then if the task is super important and I really need to focus on it, I just mark it with that asterisk in red, and if it's done, again, cross it with black. If I have canceled the task, like no, I'm not going to do this, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be part of my planner, then it goes out in red. Then if it is an appointment, then I kind of scratch the box, as you can see over here. That's just me, it's a personal preference. So dentist, for example, 5 p.m. And then if it is a client meeting, I put a circle rather than a X mark. That's just for me to know when I'm looking at the page, okay, what are to-do tasks and what are meetings and like consultation meetings and what are appointments. So that's just a segregation, like a visual segregation for me. But once both of them are done, I scratch it out. Like for example, if dentist is done, then I scratch it out with a black pen. For example, the client meeting didn't happen, but it was postponed to the next day. Then I will write it over here, 6/1/26, and then 3 p.m. But I wouldn't write it over here until and unless I have gone to like Tuesday's page and then I've written over there and then only I do this. So that's a system that I follow. I'm quite confident that I will do it. That's just my process until now. So I'm quite confident that I do it. Then other than that, is there anything? Yeah, so this one we saw, you know, budgeting next week, just notes. So the dot over here represents notes for me. That's just, so this is like future, right? This section category is future. So that just represents it's not to do per se, it's just keep in mind that kind of information, right? So this is how it is, and the moment this is done, I will remove the sticky tab, right? Is there anything that I want to, yes, I do want to share one other thing. Let me get that, hold on. So for me, I don't know if you noticed, all right? But we'll go through the key first, okay? We'll go through the key first, all right? So this is the key. You can use it as a starting point to see what works for you. Absolutely, you can do so. But this is what works for me, all right? So the key for me, my daily planner setup is if it is a task, it's X and then task. I mixed X and task together. Okay, so X and then the task. If it is an event or an appointment, I kind of like scratch it out like that, and then I write the event name, write the time if it has to be. If it's a consultation or a meeting, then it's a circle, and then I write the consultation. Now, if the task, event, meeting is done, then like I showed you before, I scratch it out. Now, if it is postponed, again, you still scratch it out, but it's with a different color pen. Blue means postponed, red means canceled. Okay, that is one visual technique that I do have. So it's just cancel, all of these canceled. That's what I just showed you. Now, if it is migrated, but there's no date assigned, then you put a sticky tab as we see over here. If the page is done, cut corner. Yes, this is something that I will show you in just a little bit. And number 9 is if it's a note, just a note for myself, then I put it with a dot. All right, now let's talk a little bit about what I mean when the page is done, I cut the corner. So this one is probably one of the most satisfying things about my daily planner is when the day is done. All right, like for example, this one. This one is not done. Why is it not done? Because there's still something over here that hasn't been assigned and there's a sticky tab over here, all right? So for example, let's say I come back maybe on 7th of January and I figure, okay, well, I have time on the 8th of January, so I am going to do it on the 8th of January. So this is sorted out. I've written it, in 8th of January. This is done. I can remove the sticky tab, all right? And then let's say, for example, all of these are done, all right? So this one, all of these are pretty much done. I have written it in the respective days. Budgeting, I've already made a note of it. This is how it is. What I do, this page is done, right? Everything has been transferred. What I do is I just cut the corner. That's pretty much it, all right? If it's done, both sides, of course, because for this you will have Monday and Tuesday, right? So both sides of it done, I will cut the corner. This is something that I have followed very, very recently. I guess I would say last couple of months. And it has been so satisfying because now when I look at my journal, all right, let me show you. When I look at my journal, I know, I don't know if you can see over here, these are all cut. All right, these are all cut because they're done. Any information that was on there has been transferred to wherever it needs to go, and I don't need to look at those pages ever again. So those pages are done, all right? So then they're not gonna be taking up any brain space. I don't need to keep going back, looking at them to see if I've transferred any of the data to the other pages. I don't have to do any of that. I can just understand from the page cut that this is it. I don't have to go back to this. December is done, so December's page is also cut over here. All right, and sometimes you will have one annoying piece that stands out. All right, when that is, then it means that I have not transferred the data from that particular page onto another page. So I will keep coming back to it. I'll keep looking at it. So the way that I see it is that it sticks out like a sore thumb. So I, as much as possible, will want to, get that corner cut because first off, it is so satisfying. It is so satisfying to cut. If you have that perforated cutter, you can absolutely do that as well. For me, I find that my scissors works absolutely wonders. I just snip, the sound is amazing. I know that I'm done with that page. And because I'm so, I love that sound, I love that action, I can feel the enthusiasm within me to make sure that I've gotten all the things in this page either transferred or done. And even if, for example, let's say, for example, you have, I'm just looking at the thing as well. For example, we have it like this, okay? And we have this page also cut off. Let's see. This one is like this, right? Okay. Let's say we cut this page off as well. And this one is in between, let's say, for example. Okay. It sticks out. You know, at any given point you're opening your daily planner, you know that there's something in this page that you have not transferred. I don't even have to go to that page. I can see it from over here. So for me, again, that just saves up so much of my time that I know there's something over here on this page that I haven't completed or I haven't done that. Previously, in the past, before this method, I would mark over here at the bottom with a black marker, a thick black marker, but I realized that I was still going back and forth the pages to look for that black marker, and honestly, after a point, I wanted something that was right there for me to see, and I could just know. I don't have to keep revisiting the pages that are done. I just have to see which one is not done and just go to that page and say, okay, is it this page or this page? Okay, well, there's something on this page, let's figure it out. Am I ready to transfer that information onto somewhere? If I am, I go get it done. If I don't, then I'll leave it over here, and then I'll keep coming back to it until I can cut off that particular edge. And given how exciting it is for me to cut off the edges, I often, I find myself constantly trying to make sure that I'm making everything transferred, or everything is no longer, necessary on that page anymore. So that kind of gives me the drive. Hold on, let me switch off my camera and then talk to you from over here. That kind of does give me the drive to, first off, plan. Second, actually do my plan, because first, it's so satisfying for me to scratch off the task, and it doesn't overwhelm me at the end of it that there are like words written all over my page. Now it's just scratched off things. I don't have to think too much. Previously, I would highlight if it was done, and then that would make me feel like it was important. And I don't know, something, my mind was not able to wrap myself around it. It was a lot of trial and error, yes. And what I understood is the least overwhelmed that I am is when it is scratched out. It is out of my mind. I can't read it, so it's done, it's out. And that is something that I liked about the system that I follow. And also cutting the corners. You can do it with the scissors. You can even, cut a box or however you want to. That's completely onto you. For me, I just snip it at the edge, and that's just a very good reminder for me that that page is done. You don't have to revisit it anymore. Unlike my weekly planner where I keep going back and forth because there's a lot of information previously that I need to transfer, so on and so forth. I don't follow this system in my weekly planner, just that there's just so much because we're covering like an entire month, right? So it's difficult to have all of that scheduled out. It's difficult to cut corners, whereas this is more of a day-to-day thing. And if it's not done today, it has to be done on another day within the next couple of days, or it's postponed, or it's canceled. So it's either one of those. So but sometimes in my weekly planner, because it goes on for months as well, right? Sometimes what I don't do today, I'll plan it for like 2 to 3 months in advance. So I don't do the cutting corners thing for my weekly planner, but for my daily planner, yes. Most of the times either the task is done or canceled, or it is postponed to the very near future. So, and until it is postponed, there's a sticky tab to it. So as much as possible, I try to postpone it to a sooner date. So my entire system, this entire planner, the way that it is designed is for me specifically, right? Please use it as a starting point to see what works for you. But this one, it really works with my brain. And like I said, it's taken me so much of time to figure out what works for me, what does not overwhelm me. Like I said, a lot of people might not like the scratching out, but it just suits my mind in such a way. Like when I look at my planner and I see a lot of things scratched out, I feel a lot better because I feel like it's done and dusted. I never have to think about it again. And whatever I can read, yeah, that's going to be registering in my mind. I'm also like a very visual person. I also have, I don't know how to call it. It's not like a superpower, but whatever I see, I can recreate it in my mind exactly the same way. So for someone like that, I feel like this works for me because even when I'm just like trying to have a flashback of what's on my planner, I can just look away and I know that whatever is scratched, I don't have to focus on. I just have to focus on the words that are there in my book. So this is just for me. This just works for my mind. Of course, please use it as a starting point to see what works for you. But this one, the way that I have set up this particular planner is for me to actually do the plan. So it's not pretty, it's not neat, but it helps me to get things done. All right, so that is the most important thing for me about the daily planner. Like I said, yeah, I try to make it pretty with the colors and stuff like that, but with the scratching out and the tasks and writing notes and stuff like that, it's not pretty. It's very, very messy, which is why I thought, okay, maybe I shouldn't show it to you because there's just so much of sensitive information. I wouldn't know what to black out, what to, and I would mostly have to like kind of blank out everything, and that just didn't make sense to me. So I decided to create these separate pages. I also do want to say one more thing about these separate categories is that for me, Monday to Saturday, I have 6 unique, the same categories, 6 categories that I just showed you. On Sunday, it's a different set because what I do on Sunday is very, very unique to Sunday. So on Sunday, it's 6 different categories. I just want to say that you can switch it up as well. Like if you have particular days that have 6 categories that are consistent, you can have that, and then one particular day in a week where you're doing completely different. Like for me, Sundays for planning, Sundays for review. So it's a different set of categories of activities that I do on Sunday. So I have 6 different categories for Sunday. I just wanted to give that as a tip or a heads up for you. But other than that, oh, I wrote priority over here at the back. I don't think I showed it to you because I stopped at note. But yeah, priority, I did tell you that it is marked with an X and a red mark over there, all right? So yeah, this is my daily planner. It took me some time. I wanted to shoot this actually last week, but then I thought, okay, you know, I need to take some time to recreate those pages. So I pushed it to this week, but I'm so glad I did. Definitely let me know your thoughts. Let me know which ideas sparked an interest in you. What ideas are you going to tweak and make it your own? You can absolutely do so. That's why I kind of shared it with you. But this has been something that has worked really, really well for me. Like I said, it scratches my mind in a way that works for me, whether it is cutting the corners or canceling it out using specific color pens. And if you notice, I don't really use any other color pens, so that if I, you know, travel and I take this along with me, I will probably, you know, have you seen that pen which has like 4 different colors? Yeah, these are the 4 consistent colors that you will probably find on that pen, or you can find it anywhere as well. So I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not carrying so unique colors that I can't fill it when I am traveling outside as well. So that's also one more thing. I don't have that 4 color pen just yet, but I know that it has green, red, blue, and black, right? So I can always buy that. So I make sure that that's why the colors are red and blue, all right? So that's actually the thought process that I had. So it's not fancy, but this is very me. I'm very, very attached to this particular planner. It's also very, very adorable. I can't wait for my stickers to come in. I've bought them, but they're coming in. I can't wait to, you know, add more to this and just fill this up and make it more me. Alrighty, so this is where I will leave you for today. I really, really hope that this gave you a good starting point to see what works for you, for your daily planner. And yeah, take care. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube video. I'll catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.